All team, give it everything you got.
It's time to fangirl flail with Fangirls Going Rogue.
Count me in. I don't think there's anything more important in the Star Wars universe than the fans.
News, discussion, and commentary from the female point of view.
You call this a diplomatic solution?
No, I call it aggressive negotiations.
With your hosts, Teresa Delgado, Tricia Barr, and Sarah Woloski.
Boy, am I glad to hear your voice.
Strap in, because this is where the fun begins.
I like the sound of that.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 53 of Fangirls Going Rogue. I am one of your hosts, Teresa Delgado, and with me are my two amazing co-hosts, Sarah Woloski from Skywalking Through Neverland. How's it going, girl? It's Star Wars month.
It is in a week we're gonna see a Star Wars movie, a new one. Is that not exciting?
It's exciting and weird because I feel like we've been waiting for it for a long time, even though it's only been like 2 years. But we can't do this without one of our best friends, Tricia Barr from Fangirl Blog. Are you feeling the feels yet?
I'm tired today.
Way to bring it down. No.
But I go to sleep every night dreaming about what possibly could be happening. And the crazy thing is, Rian Johnson's not known for the mystery box, but I feel like we're in the biggest mystery box, more so than episode 7.
You know what? I would actually agree with that. I feel really weird about this one. Like for Force Awakens, I was just super excited. But for this one, I feel like anxious and nervous and like all this stuff because I don't know what's going to happen to these characters, and everything we've seen that has been officially released up until I went into shutdown mode, which we'll talk about in a second, has been very like dark. So it's exciting, but I'm nervous. I feel weird, but I'm excited. It's a very confusing time inside of my body right now.
It's like being a teenager.
Oh.
Oh, God. I don't want to go back to that.
No, please. No. Well, okay, so let's talk about this shutdown mode.
Yeah, so I decided, it was probably about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that I was done. I didn't want anything else. I didn't want to see any more TV spots. I don't want to see any more images, posters, no international trailers. I want nothing. And so I've gone into shutdown mode, and I've done pretty well so far. The only one that got me was I was watching Disney's fun, awesome, pre-taped, magical celebration, holiday celebration.
Yep.
And they keep talking about it, and it's coming, and it's coming, and it's coming, and it comes, and I was like, do I want to watch this? No, I don't think I want to watch it. And then I watched it, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, because it wasn't too bad. So, but everything else I'm avoiding, and I'm glad that I saw a tweet. I forget who tweeted it that said, if you are in shutdown mode, do not watch the new Chinese trailer or something. And I said, oh, good to know.
No, that was total overblown. There's nothing in that would make, no, it's fine. It's really just a little bit more of scenes, and you get to see the Fathiers. That's it. I think that's how you say it. Fathiers.
Is that the Krystal?
The horses.
Oh.
Or the camels or the llamas or whatever they are. That they're transporting in the Legends of Luke Skywalker book.
Oh.
But they go to Canto Bight. So you get to see a little bit of Canto Bight. Definitely don't. Yeah. every little trailer is just a little bit more. So, yeah.
That's kind of why I'm like, no.
Disney one, that was Happy Beeps. Happy Beeps, BB-8.
Happy Beeps here, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
The best line. He's like, Happy Beeps.
And that was
Poe. That was probably my favorite part, was that new little bit we saw of Poe. And
yes,
there was like this explosion, and BB-8's head flies back on his body, and then Poe says that, and I was like, okay, that's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
But BB-8's not happy beeping. I mean,
Something's going down.
Droids. I know the droids are nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me nervous.
Well, oh my God. So like in 2 weeks, we'll all be like, oh, we were nervous for nothing. Or, oh my gosh, do you believe that happened? So I can't wait.
I know. I really can't wait to do. We're going to do a review show like we did for Force Awakens and Rogue One, right? We better.
Of course.
I'm going to have to break this ish down.
So, Teresa, are you totally unspoiled on Star Tours too?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Star Tours either.
Okay, good.
Shh.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
Crystal foxes.
Yeah, what are they called?
Volptex.
I'm going to call them crystal
Voltex.
foxes.
So it's Volptex.
Volptex.
That's a mouthful.
It's from Latin, apparently.
I know, but it's harder than Borg.
Yeah.
Well, this is a franchise that got famous for calling things like Hammerhead because it looked like a hammerhead, and we went from that to Volptex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be the Crystal Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Fox.
Yeah.
Well, also this month, it's not just The Last Jedi, but like holidays are coming up. Are you guys doing anything for the holidays?
I am doing the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar, so I got really excited and I went and bought it. I haven't done one since 2011, and so I got it, and I'm actually filming videos every night before for my YouTube channel, and I'm Sarah, you're gonna laugh. I'm using my Apple Watch as my like camera director because I can zoom in using my watch and stuff.
Whoa.
So I'm getting kind of high tech, but I am actually opening the day and building the set on camera. Like the first time, my actual reactions on the video are my actual reactions, seeing it for the first time. So if you want to see something funny, look at day 4 because I'm very confused about day 4 still. So you can check it out on my YouTube channel, which is Fangirl Next Door. And also you can check out the daily posts over on fanthatracks.com, which is a new fan site being run by our friend Mark Newbold. And I am a contributor over there. And right now I'm doing the Lego Advent Calendar. But our friend Clair Henry, who we're going to hear from later on in the show, she is working really hard for Fanthatracks right now. And I just wanted to give her and the website a shout out because they're doing some awesome stuff. And you can check out the videos and my post over there. It's been fun.
Well, that sounds super fun.
It is very fun. And I just saw before we started recording today, December 13th. Everybody write this down in your planners because I know you all have them just like me. December 13th is hashtag Take Your Porg to Work Day. It's being sponsored by Funko and their official social media account. So if you are down to do this, take your Porg stuff with you to work on December 13th. Take a picture of it and hashtag it with Take Your Porg to Work Day. And the Funko account is sharing your pictures all day long.
Wow. That is so cute. And I just got a lovely Porg shirt that Richard brought me from the Last Jedi press event.
Ooh, cool.
Look at that segue.
I got the Porg too. The Porg is so cute. I think that was the longest line.
I bet. Okay, so let's get into it then. You, Tricia, attended the Last Jedi press event, which happened this weekend in Los Angeles.
Yes, and there were a lot of people there. There were a lot of questions. There was a lot of merchandise because, of course, they want us to see all these crazy things. They had the Rag and Bone collection there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the boots?
Yes, they are so cool.
Oh my God.
And the Nixon watches were there. And then speaking of Porgs, the big oversized Porg that I got to meet and see at the fan event, that was there. But the licensing people didn't know if there were going to be any more of these oversized Porgs, if they were making it, because I mean, everybody was asking and they're like, I don't know. I'm like, they have to, right? They have to.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be making these. So anyway, I said, well, if you can have any feedback, tell these people they have to make more of these oversized Porgs. And, there was just so many cool things you could go in, like Richard. I was there. Richard was getting your shirt. So you could pick like it was a Porg, R2, 3PO, the Falcon, There was a couple other random things, BB90, and you could pick the shirt and then the color and the size, and then they would make it right there. It's just like 3-step process to just boom, it's done. So that's really cool. That's kind of a nice little touch. You can pick your own thing, and then they had some food there, and then they're like, oh, they're ready for you. So of course it's like people running to the room because you're trying to get the best seat possible and
for the press conference, right?
Yeah, and it was a really good. These guys are pros, all these actors, and even Rian Johnson handled himself really well, considering he went from. He's made lots of movies, but I don't think anything prepares you for this. At least like J.J. Abrams had done Star Trek, so he had kind of an idea of the obsessiveness that you could get, but he just handled it really, really well. And you know who was talkative more so than he's been was Adam Driver.
Oh, really?
Oh, awesome.
Well, okay, so can you tell us who was all there at the press conference?
Okay, so we had Rian Johnson, Mark Hamill, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Domhnall Gleeson, Gwendolyn Christie, Andy Serkis, and Laura Dern and Kelly Marie Tran.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a big panel. They usually split the panels up.
I was going to say, with that many people, they usually get like 5 and 5 or something like that.
Yeah, they had them all up there. So we didn't get to hear, everybody talked, but you didn't get a lot from everybody. So maybe that was by design. So there couldn't be a lot of talking. They had all seen the movie now, except for Domhnall Gleeson. Was a running joke that he said he wanted to see it with fans. And then he realized that everybody on the cast was fans and that he missed it. And they were all just raving about it. So that was kind of funny. He's going from his Harry Potter days. I want to see it with the fans, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. But my favorite people were Laura Dern, who plays Amilyn Holdo, the Vice Admiral, and Gwendolyn Christie. I just loved their take. And they talked about the different types of female characters that we're going to see in this movie. So I'll let them take that away.
I just want to pay tribute to Rian for being one of the most brilliantly subversive filmmakers I've ever been able to bear witness to. And in the case of the look of my character, I was moved by the fact that he really wanted her strength to first lead with a very deep femininity. And to see a powerful female character also be feminine is something that moves away from a stereotype that's sometimes perceived in strong female characters must be like the boys. I thought that was a really interesting choice to get to witness.
I was so delighted. I wasn't cast in the first Star Wars film yet when I heard about the casting. And I was utterly delighted to see that there was a more representative selection of actors that were going to be in these incredible Star Wars films, and that has continued. And everything that my amazing colleagues say is absolutely right. You get to see women that are not being strong just because they're acting like men. They're doing something else, and also you're seeing a developed character, or at least a developing character, that's showing some complex character traits. And I'm just delighted about that. I'm delighted that something as legendary as Star Wars has decided to be modern and to reflect our society more as it is.
So I'm wondering what it means to lead with deep femininity. I'm anxious to see that and how that works with Amilyn Holdo.
Yeah, I am too. That's kind of one of the things that stood out to me is when we saw Captain Phasma originally, we were all excited because it was a female character in non-traditional female outfits, and not stereotyped by what they're wearing. And then we get a character like Amilyn Holdo, and she's talking about leading with that deep femininity. So I'm really curious to see what we're going to see in Phasma and Amilyn Holdo in this movie, because I feel like they're two polar opposite types of strong female characters, and I think that's cool.
So Teresa, you haven't seen then the training video that they put out? in the last couple of days of the lightsaber training?
No, that I did watch.
Okay.
I did watch that, yeah. And that was cool.
How about her face, Gwendolyn Christie's face, when she's getting ready to prep for her little battle sequence? I'm like, oh man, I would not mess with that woman.
No, absolutely not. I would love to meet her, but I would also be slightly terrified because she could probably break me in half by poking me.
But she looks so sweet, though. Like, she's just got this angelic look when she's not in crazy makeup.
Yeah. She's intimidating to me, but
she's so tall. When she walked in and she walked by, and Oscar Isaac is really short, and so is Ryan Johnson.
Oh god!
And then she's walking in, and it's like there's all of them, and then her, like way up there. When she walked past, I'm like, man, she is so tall.
No, like I really do feel if I ever got to meet her, I'm like, hi, I'm a porg, I'm way down here.
I know John Boyega said that he was after every take, because we do know from the trailers that Finn and Phasma face off again, that he was like, okay, Gwendolyn, we're friends, right?
Aww, that's so cute.
So
I love that.
He's probably worried about her kicking his butt too. So speaking of the bad guys, Domhnall Gleeson talked a little bit about the let me just let him talk about the First Order and how they maybe don't all like each other.
Is there like a corollary in our world to the relationship that they have?
That's dangerous water. Okay. I don't want to
plunge in. Like rival co-workers or brothers. Nobody.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I think it's funny. Like there's just such a huge amount of drama going on in that group of people, but then also just a huge amount of bitchy infighting as well, which I think is really fun to see them kind of really hurt each other from the inside as well as from the outside. The united front thing is difficult for them sometimes.
Well, I think it would make sense that they don't like each other, because even in The Force Awakens, it seemed like Hux and Kylo Ren had a thing going on, and so that...
Like a kind of a brotherly, like, competition, sort of?
I wouldn't even say brotherly. It's more of I am better than you. This is why I am better than you, and I don't have to have force powers to be better than you situation.
Well, I guess what I mean by brotherly is that they're on the same side, but they both want to be like the top dog. So I guess it's more like school competition, like trying to be the valedictorian or something.
Exactly. That's kind of what they want to both be number one, and obviously there's. For Snoke, it seems like they both want to be the guy that he goes to, and they have different ways of doing it. Obviously, one has a force and the other doesn't, and it seems like probably Hux is more disciplined. He doesn't trash things willy-nilly with his lightsaber.
But come on, that's our favorite part about Kylo Ren.
Right? I wonder if we're going to get any more scenes like that.
I hope they put one in there just for... like an inside joke, like to be funny.
That would be awesome. Well, Mark Hamill was on the panel too, right? So did he have anything to say?
He's just really good at doing the kind of the dance where, they've probably prepped him like he was going to testify on the witness stand. So, he wasn't having any of it. So, someone asked him about training Rey, and he's essentially like, this is his answer.
My question's for Mark Hamill. With Luke training Rey in this movie, it seems like he's in the position Yoda was with Luke in The Empire Strikes Back. Is it sort of like when your parents say you'll understand when you're older? Does he finally learn some of Yoda's lessons now that he's the teacher?
Well, you're assuming that I train Rey.
Exactly.
Sneaky.
Do I?
Sneaky.
I know, I have to be really careful. People say, was it difficult to pick up and wield a lightsaber again? And I go, do I?
Is it difficult acting in this movie? Am I in this movie?
I can promise you my part is twice as big as it was in Force Awakens.
Well, I mean, if I were Mark Hamill at this point, after being on all of the talk shows that I've been on, I would just be doing that same thing. I don't know, guys. I can't say anything. They won't let me talk. Like,
it's like, I want to be in the next one, okay? So I'm not going to say anything.
Did you guys see? I tweeted to Fangirls Going Rogue about Oscar Isaac and kind of the characters that women end up being attracted to in storytelling. So we're talking about Benedict Cumberbatch and Oscar Isaac, and all. There's a character. Actors that don't usually do like rom-coms or the typical romance type characters, but the characters are very positive and nurturing, or just not the masculine macho. Because when Poe, and he's very nurturing in The Force Awakens. He's a good leader. He's taking everyone under his wing. He says, keep my jacket. That's like the quarterback, right? Saying, keep my jacket type of thing. And so
looks good on you.
And we know I love Poe anyway, but so I'm reading this article, and then here he is, Oscar Isaac, talking about the women in the film and how they reflect the women who are important in his life. So can I love him more? Maybe not.
I just want to say one thing, going back to one of the things about the question about the strong women in it, because I think as a guy, I'd like to say that for me, the most formative people in my life have been women, and so that has shaped my destiny so much, and so to see that reflected in the film is really, really a beautiful thing, and it is more true to real life and what's happening now, but what's always happened, which is, it's they're the ones, that shape you.
Leading the way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. When I heard Poe, I'm like, Oscar Isaac. Okay, when I heard Oscar Isaac say that, I'm like, oh my gosh, Tricia is like more in love than ever.
Yeah, it was melting.
Yeah, and like now I kind of love him too. I mean, I've always liked him. I thought he was cute, but now I'm sort of like, okay.
Uh-oh.
You're cool.
Uh-oh,
But
Tricia, you got competition.
Her mama's already my competition.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump in on that business. But I did want to make just a little small comment because you brought up Benedict Cumberbatch. I have never been a huge Benedict Cumberbatch like fangirl. I like him. I think he's talented. But I just started watching Sherlock, and now I'm like, hi. How are you?
So now you are.
But
now I am.
Okay, what's interesting about that is Sherlock is not very like he's like Sheldon kind of,
Yeah, but it's his brain. Like he's so stinking intelligent. It's ugh.
Yeah, that's funny. So Tricia's attracted to what, the sappy guy?
I think it's the guys that want to. I don't know.
The guys that elevate other people and are all about equality and about respect and treating people like people.
Well, yeah, I think you would think that if he were just the way he treats the other characters, that he would probably be nice to you if he were your So that's kind of what that article said too. And a lot of times you would see that in fanfic where characters that weren't really developed, that were just there but weren't necessarily romantic characters, but people would latch on to them for that reason. But he definitely, kind of embodies that. And it seems like everybody because Daisy really even talked about a little bit about how she was really kind of going through The Last Jedi in the same way. She had done one movie and now she's doing her second. So she's got this like different, it's like the experience was actually the meta of her experience as an actress playing Rey, because now she has this power, and her power is that now she's a well-known movie star, but in the movie the power is a force, but she's essentially going through it in like real life. So but it always seems like the Star Wars actors are sort of cast to type.
Yes.
I mean, Harrison Ford really is a hero. He goes and helicopters sick kids out, and the lady crashed her car recently. I see Harrison Ford trending. I'm like, oh no.
Oh,
and it's just because he went and helped somebody. He really is like a hero dude type thing. But Oscar kind of sounded that way just when he was talking. So hopefully I never find out otherwise.
Yeah, no, that would be That would not be good. Now, there was a big hole on this panel, obviously, because Carrie Fisher wasn't there. Did they mention her and talk about her at all?
They did. Anthony Breznican kind of he hosted it from Entertainment Weekly, and he was wrapping it up, and he gave them opportunity to all talk about her legacy and Princess Leia's legacy. So the ladies, Gwendolyn Christie, Laura Dern, and Kelly Marie Tran, all tackled this topic.
Well, she was very significant because I was first shown A New Hope when I was 6, and I remember thinking, wow, that character's really different. I watched TV and film obsessively from such a young age, but it stayed with me throughout my formative years of, she's really interesting, she's really smart, she's really funny, she's courageous, she's bold, she doesn't care what people think, and she isn't prepared to be told what to do. And she doesn't look the same as a sort of homogenized presentation of a woman that we had been used to seeing. So that was really instrumental to me as someone that didn't feel like they fitted that homogenized view of what a woman was supposed to be, that there was inspiration there. And, you know, to play a character as well from what we've seen in The Force Awakens, I was very excited when I was shown just the basic element of the costume. And here we were seeing a character whereby a woman her femininity was not delineated in terms of the shape of her body, in terms of her physical attractiveness, those elements, that weird random group of elements which we're born with. It's some kind of odd lottery and then we're judged on in society. And I was just delighted to be able to have that opportunity.
Laura, how about you? Do you have any thoughts on the impact of Carrie Fisher and Princess Leia in pop culture in general?
I'll just speak to this present experience to say that as we always had with Carrie, not just Leia, her wisdom, and, you know, people speak about people who are brave or fearless, but beyond that, I've known, luckily, a few people that would hold those descriptions, but not that they would be without shame. And that's what moved me the most about the icon she gave us, but also what she gave us individually and personally, which is to carry who she was so directly and to be without shame and to share her story and to expect nothing less from any of us. And the privilege of watching how Ryan has so beautifully captured all of that and her grace and this amazing, beautiful, pure performance. But also, I think she found an equal irreverent subversive, and they had this dance that gives us this performance that I was just so moved by.
I don't think I can really follow that, except to just say if Carrie's daughter Billy is, I think, all of those qualities. She's smart and funny and shameless and wonderful. And I think with Carrie bringing up a daughter, obviously with Brian, bringing up a daughter who is all of those qualities and then some in this world, if that's what she did, you know, just her being her, I think it speaks volumes to what she did as her in the spotlight and also her as Leia.
Something about Carrie that I really look up to is, and something I didn't realize until recently, was just how much courage it takes to truly be yourself when you're on a public platform or when possibly a lot of people will be looking at you. And she was so unapologetic and so openly herself, and that is something that I am really trying to do, and it's hard. And just like Daisy said, like Laura said, like Gwendolyn said, I think that she will always be an icon as Leia, but also as Carrie. What an example.
Okay, well, so was everyone bawling after that?
I think everybody was, it was so heartwarming what they said that we were all, it was definitely bittersweet in a way, because it would have been really cool to see Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher on this press tour.
Yeah, it would have.
You know, because he talks about it as a matter of fact, when I was flying home, American Airlines magazine, Mark Hamill was the cover man for that, and he had an article in there, and one of the sections was specifically talking about coming back to Carrie Fisher, having her in his life, and how she was like a sibling to him, and she could always trust that he wasn't there for any other reason, that they had a lot of life experiences together and they were friends, and just, you know, because he's talked about when he was younger, he had a crush on her. So when they were filming, but, you know, now it's just, you know, they could trust each other and just be friends and siblings, kind of that kind of way. And so it was, you know, but they would have been so funny together.
Oh, so
that's
sad.
The killer.
Well, I'm so glad you had an awesome time.
The one thing I do have to talk about is the space jewelry.
Ooh.
They had.
Oh yeah, I saw a picture that you posted.
Leia's costume there. They had Luke's costume. They had Leia's costume, but they had the jewelry on. And I know that she had specifically requested the jewelry, not the design, but just that the characters. I know that Rose wears a necklace that's supposed to mean something. You remember back in the day with the Japor snippet with Padme, and that was. But so she has this beautiful jewelry on the mannequin, and I hope somebody gets a license to make that stuff because it's gorgeous.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of things like that we can buy and have and wear to show our fandom, there is a little bit of new fashion that has come out since we talked. Her universe has released quite a bit of stuff, but specifically the things that we're interested in is all of the Porg fashion that has hit everywhere. It's at Disney parks. It's on the Her Universe site. It's on EMP for our UK listeners. And there's sweaters and t-shirts and cardigans and skirts and all kinds of stuff. And I'm super excited about it. I actually bought the long sleeve boyfriend style cardigan with the little Porg in the pocket, and I can't wait to get it.
It's a pin with the pin too.
Yes, because I did. The Her Universe holiday pin was released, and it's Han and Leia. And I did my due diligence and woke up all of my friends.
She did. I got a text.
I got a text at like 3 a.m. Yes.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 for you. I woke up around 6 something. I don't remember why. And I just for giggles got on the Her Universe website. No rhyme or reason to this. And it was right there. And I was suddenly awake and I said, oh my gosh. And so I texted Christy Morris and Jonah Marie for Galactic Fashion, and because they're in the Eastern time zone, and I was the pin is online. Go buy something, $25. Go now. And then I'm like, Tricia's in Eastern time zone. Text Tricia. So I texted Tricia, and then I'm like, Sarah really wants this pin. Oh, I hope she's not mad at me if I do this. So I texted Sarah, and then Greg is up, and I said, Greg, do you think Sarah would get really mad if I woke her up and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning? And he goes, yeah, you shouldn't call her. I said, okay, so I'll call her. So I just really wanted you to get it. So I called and you didn't answer, but I was like, okay, well, hopefully that woke her up a little bit, that she reads her text message.
You're so cute. You know what? I do have I have my phone set to quiet hours, so actually I didn't hear any of those until I woke up at 6. So it's okay.
Well, you still got it, which is important. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody got their pin before it was gone, and I got really nervous for everybody, but I think everybody got it. So we're all good. We're all good.
You got it too, right, Tricia?
I did. Well, I don't know. Did Tricia?
Yes, I did. I was on it. That woke me up. That text, I was like, woohoo! I'm out of bed. So I have, I think all but one of the holiday pins. I think I didn't get the first one.
Okay. I have all of them. The first one was R2-D2.
Oh.
So I do have them all, and it's a collection I'm a little bit proud of.
Nice.
So, yeah, and there really was no warning when it was going to launch. She just said it would be later, and then it just quietly happened, and then I posted it everywhere, and then it went official. Her Universe posted it.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of obsessive on something, Geek K covers fashion at Fangirl, and she kept saying, she sent me an email. Did you get a press release for the Clerks? And I'm like, what is she talking about? The Clerks. And then these shoes came out, the Clerks ankle boot shoes, and she's in love with them. I don't know what you guys
I want the
think.
gray ones. I love Clerks. I have several pairs of Clerks, so I need these like in my life now.
Yeah, so they're definitely there's different colors for there's a Rey style, and then what's the other style?
It's for kids. It's a women's line, and then there's a kids line, and the Rey style comes in a black, a gray, and a like sand color. And then there's the sand, it gets everywhere. And then there's these kids ones, and I don't remember the exact style on them, but they're a little bit more colorful. But yeah, I'm pumped, and I don't care that they're $160. I want them now. I want them.
Well, you know what? Speaking of shoes, we know that Persaud has been doing their Star Wars line of shoes, and the Persaud brand is what Rey actually wears in the movies. And so in the Last Jedi, she wears high boots that are brown. Is that correct?
Jedi training.
Yeah, Jedi training. Okay, so she wears these high boots, which means they're up on your calves, and they just came out. Well, I say, but a couple weeks ago, they came out with a black version of those, which, because I already have the brown Persaud boots from the original The Force Awakens, like, I'm really eyeing those black high boots, because every girl needs a pair of brown boots and a pair of black boots and then a pair of gray boots. So there you go.
And they have a lot of guys options too.
Yes.
If you want to get like the Stormtrooper or a first order look, or kind of like the fighter pilot Poe boot. So there's like all different, and they're really comfortable shoes. I know they're a little more expensive. They are ethical shoes, so they things are done in a way that's supposed to help the earth and not take from it. And they really, I mean, you put them on and that's it. They're broken in and really comfortable. So
they can last a whole day at a convention.
That's right.
I need to break down and buy a pair. I just haven't done it.
It's okay. You know what? They'll go on sale. That's when I bought my Rey ones.
Yeah, they go
on sale.
Yeah, definitely. They do sign up because they get flash sales. Quite a bit. You'll get emails, or they'll do free shipping sales. So you always with this. It used to be with geek stuff, fashion stuff. You had to get it. And you had to get it when it was coming out, or you wouldn't get it. And it's gotten a lot better. Even like, remember we were all in the panic about the Wonder Woman dresses. And then they realized that they were popular and they came out with more in the jacket. So it's less of that panic now. You can be a little bit more kind of choosy and pick the right time to buy stuff.
Yeah, unless you want the Wonder Woman skirt that's never going to come back.
Oh, the one that like changes in the sun.
Yeah.
But also with Persaud, they are working on building a United States-based factory, which means much less shipping. So very excited about that.
Yes. Well, Clair Henry, who you mentioned earlier, got to talk to Persaud at MCM Birmingham, which is a convention over there. So I just like to listen to them all talk because they're beautiful accents.
Yay, British people.
But she has a great conversation, so we thought we'd let her take it away for a few minutes.
Claire here at MCM in Birmingham, and I've got Kate from Persaud Shoes, who's going to explain a little bit to us about what the company does and how they got involved with Star Wars.
Hi, how's it going?
Well, so you're here at this stall. It's amazing. You're right at the front door. You've got good footfall coming through. How's the sales and things going this weekend?
They've been going really well, thank you. Really well. What's so exciting is it's the first time we come to Birmingham to show the shoes. So it's a whole new audience for us, and we've had really amazing responses to it. So it's been fantastic. Thank you.
Can you tell us how Persaud got involved with Star Wars and what the history behind it all is?
It's a really good question, and it's the question we get asked the most, and we're allowed to say the least about. But I'll be honest with you, it all began with a phone call. One day we received a call from Lucasfilm, and at the time we didn't quite know what it was all about, and one thing led to the next, and here we are today.
So if I was to look at the shoes, which are absolutely stunning, a lot of people have been sort of saying to us they're quite expensive, but can you explain to people why they are such special shoes and why everybody should come and buy them?
Sure. Well, I think one of the things that is so fantastic and so something that I'm very, very proud to be a part of Persaud about is that they have really maintained the pillars of our ethics. When we've been doing shoes for the past 8 years, and what's really fantastic about this range is we've been able to bring the cornerstone of what Persaud is all about to the mainstream, and sort of have this global attention for the shoes that we've been making. So they're all handmade in Portugal. We use ethical, sustainable materials. We use organic cotton, linen. There's a great fiber we've just started to use with our shoes, which is really fantastic and also vegan, and it's called Pinatex, which is made out of pineapple leaves from Sri Lanka, and chrome-free leather. So we're very proud about the collection. The reason why it is a bit more of a premium price point is because we pass this on to the people that we work with in the supply chain, and really what we're trying to do as a brand is just so contrary to what others might be doing in the market.
So when somebody buys the Persaud shoe, they know that they have been crafted, sourced ethically, and that you know that part of the money and profits goes back to them because of the hard work that they've put in and the hard work that you've put in to try and make sure that everybody gets their fair share of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something that's really fantastic as well is that the designer and founder, Spencer Gall, he really is uncompromising in his design aesthetic. So not only do we try to bring the best of sort of sustainable materials and ethical manufacture, but he really has taken 1,001 different views of the products and tried to bring it to the market in the best sense that it could be. And I really think it does reflect that in the design aesthetic.
So, is there a Star Wars fan in the Persaud team that have helped sort of shape the direction of the shoes, or have you had to go away and do your research and decide what you're going to choose?
Oh, Sven is a huge Star Wars fan. He's massive. Yes, he really is. And for me, I've joined the team relatively late in the day, so I've been learning. But the more I learn about the community and the sort of international sort of participation in what Star Wars is all about, the more impressed and excited I am.
So if you're going to choose a shoe or a boot to wear from the range, which one? Well, you're currently wearing the lovely silver ones, the Resistance.
The silver Resistance, yeah.
And they were worn by Andy Gutierrez on the Star Wars show, isn't that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, I am looking at them and I am very envious at the minute. They are gorgeous. Which shoes or boots are the most popular, are your biggest sellers at the minute?
Well, I mean, the Ray is our best seller through and through. And actually, quite interestingly enough, the Ray Grey has been insanely popular. I think because it's quite a fashion alternative to the classic boot.
You can wear it normally, can't you? You can. We're having a look at it now. It is so gorgeous. It's so light and it's comfortable, and it looks amazing.
It's a bit more weatherproof than the Ray Brown, as it's got the leather upper, so that helps protect it a little bit from the harsher climates. So I guess if you're living in a snowy area, it's definitely the boot for you. We have huge interest in the Silver Resistance, which is my personal favourite shoe of all time.
I have to say, I'm looking at these now, and I am wearing the cream resistant boots, but I'm looking at these longingly, thinking to myself, I need maybe another 2 pairs of boots in my life. I just have to convince the husband about that one. But they're beautiful. The silver ones are stunning. So we've moved over now to the rear section of the stand, and I'm standing here in a complete quandary. Kate, what have you done to me? Do I go brown leather Ray or black leather Ray? Or are you going to tell us which one's in the film?
That's a very good question, yes.
No spoilers. But would you tell us about the Rey leather boots?
Yeah, well, these have really been, to put it very lightly, a labor of love and a half. They really are such a handcrafted piece of footwear that I couldn't even believe it, to be honest, myself. Now, those of us who have ordered them, and I know that they're shipping this week, so hopefully they're going to be within your hands soon.
So that everybody can wear them to the Last Jedi premieres, of course, that everybody will be going to.
Yes. It really has just pushed, I think in the best sense of the word, because it's been a challenge, our factory to the limit. So we're very excited about this boot, and it's such an iconic addition to the range. You could wear it every day and walk down the street and no one would ever know that you're wearing Rey's boot. And then the Star Wars fans amongst us would know straight away.
Yeah, you get that secret nod as you walk down the street. That's the, I know what those boots are. The thing about the boots that I like is I'm quite tall, and I'm going to be honest, my calves are slightly large. But the nice thing about this is it's adjustable, and you don't get that on a lot of boots in that when you put your boot in, your shoe into the foot into the boot, the stitching at the back allows you to sort of adjust it so it's really comfy for yourself.
Yeah, you get a really good deal of sort of give at the back, which is fantastic, because it means that it could fit pretty much everyone I know.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure people are seeing my photographs on our Fangirls Going Rogue Facebook page, and they're just beautiful. But the problem is, black or brown?
I know.
Are you going to go black or are you going to go brown?
It's a really tricky one because I love the brown one, and then the black arrived, and it put the whole question into a huge sort of uproar.
I think I'm going to start a poll. I've got a photograph of me with both, and we'll see which one people choose, and then I'll order it. About getting the shoes, how do people, after hearing you, looking at the photographs that we've taken today, how can people order the boots?
Sure. So we sell everything online and we ship internationally. What's really exciting is we now ship internationally for free.
And so that's to the States from the UK, so they don't pay any postage or packaging.
That's right.
That's a deal breaker.
It's a pretty good incentive, yes.
I think so. And the conversion rate, because obviously for us, we know what a UK 7 is. It's easy for people to find out on the website what the conversion is, so they can choose one.
Yeah, so we've got all the size charts per model on the website. So if you click onto the website and find the style you like, there's the sizing chart for that particular style there for you.
So listen, Kit, thank you very much. I know it's been a really busy weekend for you. There's been people coming in and out. The Rebel Legion have walked past us and everything. I'd just like to say, on behalf of Fangirls Going Rogue, thank you very much. The shoes are beautiful. The boots are just stunning. And hopefully we'll see you for the next Star Wars movie as well, in the next trilogy.
I hope so.
No spoilers here. Thanks very much, Kit.
Thank you so much.
So it was really cool to hear from the Posey people. I've gotten to meet them before, and they are super awesome. But, we talked about Kelly Marie Tran earlier, and she was at an event that involved a company called Little Bits. And we were fortunate enough to get to talk to Krystal Persaud, their director of product design from Little Bits. So here is our interview with Krystal.
Welcome, Krystal, to Fangirls Going Rogue.
Thank you so much for having me.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your role at Little Bits, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the product.
So my name's Krystal Persaud. I'm the director of product design at Little Bits, and I'm actually a founding member of the company I started back in 2012. And we're really excited to talk to you guys about the Droid Inventor Kit because the Little Bits, the company, was founded by Aya Bader, this really brilliant artist and engineer from the MIT Media Lab. And she's really on a mission, and the company's on a mission to create the easiest way to be creative with technology and engage in STEM and STEAM subjects in a gender-inclusive, very important gender-inclusive way, where kids can invent their own devices and their own toys and their own droids even. And that's why we were so excited about this product.
Now, Krystal, I know that from meeting the company at Lucasfilm one time that there was some, they got picked up by Disney. They wanted to help you guys along and really sort of shepherded and help mentor the company. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And did you get to participate in that?
Absolutely, yeah. So the partnership all started because Little Bits applied to the Disney Accelerator program back in the summer of 2016. And once we were accepted, it really was such a huge milestone for the company. It was really exciting. And what that meant was that we had a small team of people cross-functionally, so a designer, an engineer, a UX designer, and some other folks living in LA on the Disney campus and could basically meet with all of these amazing people, have access to all of these facilities, and basically meet with all of the different brands under the Disney umbrella to try to find a great fit that, you know, we could use our electronic building blocks to get STEAM more mainstream. And, you know, going into it, we always wanted Lucasfilm and Star Wars. Who doesn't want to partner with them? Not only because they're such an exciting franchise and so many people at Little Bits are huge Star Wars fans, myself included. But there was that authentic tie between the stories and the characters in Star Wars and that we were seeing in our own inventors and makers with Little Bits. Like, for example, Rey is a tinkerer and Anakin built C-3PO. There's so much technology and so much creativity in the movies that we wanted to echo that. So I didn't live in LA myself. Someone on the design team did, but I did definitely fly back and forth from New York to LA for meetings and brainstorms. It was really an incredibly exciting opportunity, and the folks over at Disney and Lucasfilm were really fun to work with. We got to go to Star Wars Celebration, the conference, which was amazing for work, like no big deal. We also got to go to D23. We met with the R2 Builders Clubs. I mean, it was incredible.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So you've established you're a Star Wars fan. Are you also a Disney fan as well?
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely. I see, no matter what age, I always see every Disney movie. But I've been like a Star Wars fan since I was little. I'm a dark side person. I'm a huge Darth Vader fan. And I actually have this really epic Darth Vader costume that I made out of Little Bits.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually more of the dark sider of the three of us. So are you a Maul fan by any chance?
You know, I feel like he didn't get the credit that he deserved in the movies.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, well, he's such a, I mean, visually, he's amazing, like amazing. His weapon, his makeup, his costume, even like his attitude is amazing. And I just feel like in those earlier movies, there were so many different villains, like multiple in one movie and then different arcs of villains. Obviously, Palpatine was like the biggest one, but there were all these little ones that, I mean, like Count Dooku, and then he was there, and then he was gone, that I feel like Darth Maul could have had a bigger presence, for sure.
Yeah, that's how I feel. We are fangirl sisters in that sense. And as far as your Disney fandom, is there any, if you could pick like a property within the Disney umbrella that you think would fit with Little Bits, which one would you like to sort of play in?
Oh, well, obviously, I have to say that nothing I say is official. It's only my personal opinion. But you know, one of my favorite recent Disney movies is definitely Big Hero 6. I think it was such an inspiring story about overcoming hardships and being creative and having fun with technology. That I think would be such a cool thing to collaborate on.
Ooh, I like that one. So how did you guys decide to do R2 specifically of all the droids you could pick in Star Wars?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, I think for us, it was a number of factors. One, obviously, we're making a build it yourself, invent it yourself product. So we knew that there's some aspect of complexity to consider because the three most beloved droids, C-3PO, R2-D2, and BB-8, C-3PO being like a humanoid robot and being pretty complex to build robotically. Similarly, BB-8 has that magical way that he moves. So I think the fact that we are targeting kids, we wanted to make the building experience really fun and gratifying. So we thought that R2-D2 would be a great way to get started in robotics. And then also just thinking about the like lovability and nostalgia that R2-D2 has, and both parents and kids really identify and love him, and thinking that, you know, a lot of parents might be building and inventing droids with their kids, that this would be a really great character that they would both enjoy and connect with.
Yeah, absolutely. How has the R2-D2 droid been received?
Oh, it's, you know, we are so grateful that it's being received really well. We've already won. I can get you guys all the final stats, but we've already won a number of awards. We've been on TechCrunch, the Today Show, Good Morning America, and in a lot of top toy lists. And I think, you know, the thing that really sets us apart, that is resonating as a company, is that we're really not just about construction, and we're not about making replicas. We're really about getting kids excited, genuinely excited about STEM and STEAM and inventing things. And, you know, R2-D2 is such a lovable character that kids really care about him or her, depending on the type of droid they invent, and they want to keep improving it and changing its capabilities and inventing with it. That it's really a lot more about inventing the type of droid you want than recreating it from the movie, which you just can't get anywhere else.
It's like making your fanfic droid.
Exactly. Yeah, like you could. We actually have a droid competition right now where you can buy the kit and submit your own custom droid that you made. And I mean, some of the droids that are made are incredible. Like, we've seen more replica-inspired ones with like the Return of the Jedi drink tray on the back that somebody made out of cardboard, which is incredible. The one's really good. We've seen droids that dispense candy. We've seen droids in like all shapes and sizes where people have taken the pieces and reconfigured them in really interesting ways. We've seen droids that people have hacked to like connect to their Android phone if you're more advanced, like if you're a parent doing it with your kids. So it's really incredible. Oh, a droid that blows bubbles. That was really cool.
Yeah, I saw that in the B-roll. I was like, oh my goodness, bubble droid.
So this was, you have the Droidathon going on right now. Can you talk a little bit about that competition and what its intention is?
Sure. So yeah, the droid competition just recently started, and the intention is really, like I said before, we're not just about making replica droids or making construction. We really want to inspire and empower kids to be creative with technology and to understand the world around them. So the intention there is really to get kids to unleash their creativity and really like dig deep and think about the type of droids they want. Like, does their droid solve a problem? Is it something that you wish you saw in the movie? And to be this like movement of kids who are young, empowered, and just, you know, one of the things I always love saying, because we have kids in the office all the time for user testing, is that they are incredibly intelligent, much more intelligent than I think we often give them credit for. And they are, you know, capable of creating really amazing things. And this is a way to showcase that.
Wow. You know what? How do you target both girls and boys with the droid or with any of your products?
Yeah, I love answering this question because it's something we think about constantly at Little Bits. We really think about gender inclusivity at every level of the product. First, at the bit level, so when you actually get the magnetic electronic building block, we really intentionally chose like candy colors, where they're really bright colors in a variety of spectrums. There are pink ones, green ones, blue ones, orange ones, and making sure that, you know, if you look at some other robotics companies, sometimes all the components are like red, gray, black, and it just feels so stereotypically like it belongs in the boy toy aisle. So we consciously don't do that. Even to the types of packaging and the types of marketing and videos that we do, making sure we show kids playing together in a meaningful way, in a diverse way. And then also, this is the piece that really hits home for me and things that I work on every day is the types of inventions that we make. We make sure to leave room on the invention process so that it can be customized. And I think an example of this is with the droid kit, that the R2-D2 plastic pieces that you get are actually, first of all, they're completely clear, to emphasize that you are actually building this piece of sophisticated technology, and you can see the electronics inside. Like, haven't you always wanted to see the guts of a droid? Like, now you can. But the droid comes completely plain. There's no colors on it. And there are different sticker sheets inside. There's a blue one if you want a classic R2. There's a red and black one if you want a dark side R2. And then there's actually a white sheet that is completely customizable. So if you want it to be like zebra striped, go for it. If you want it to be, this really specific shade of purple, you can do that too. And it's leaving the room for kids to put their identity on what they're working on and not dictating it for them.
Wow, this sounds like this thing needed to be made back in the 80s when I was a kid. Well, I know the Little Bits Droidathon happened at Lucasfilm on November 15th. Were you at this event?
I wasn't actually there, but there were members of my team that were there, and we definitely streamed. We logged in and streamed the event so that we could watch it remotely because not everybody could go, but it was so incredible to see, especially seeing Rose, the actress that plays Rose, up there with the droids and with the kids, and she gave such an inspiring talk. It was awesome.
Kelly Marie Tran?
Yeah.
What was your impression of her?
She's so eloquent and authentic, I think. Like she was so passionate, like legitimately passionate about the cause of getting all of these kids and girls empowered in these subjects that I was really impressed.
Nice.
So there was a lot of diversity in the kids that were participating in that event from what I saw. Why does Little Bits think it is important for STEM and STEAM to be so inclusive?
Oh, I love answering this question too. So one of the things that actually inspired me the most when I joined Little Bits almost 6 years ago was the fact that I studied industrial design in school, so like very traditional product design. And the thing that always rubbed me the wrong way about the field is that there's all of these people, what seem like these like elite people in these companies deciding and designing these products for other people. And, of course, there's user feedback, but that type of dynamic just always seemed so off to me. And what interested me about Little Bits is that now you're sort of democratizing the way that people can think about technology and think about creating their own products and their own toys, like with the Droid Inventor Kit. And I think, taking that a step further, sort of pedagogically, the more diverse the group of people is that is creating these inventions and these solutions to the world, the more empathetic and the more well thought out and the more innovative those solutions will be, because they have different perspectives and different backgrounds thinking about them. And we genuinely think that is so important, because you don't want the same group of people designing solutions and innovations for such a wide range. It's important that everybody has a voice there.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, even in podcasting, it's so interesting to hear more diverse opinions on, say, The Force Awakens. We have opinions of young and old and male and female. And so it makes a lot of sense that would work in all aspects of life as well.
Absolutely.
What are you guys working on next? I'm so curious, because this droid is awesome.
I can't say.
Any BB-8s?
No, I can't say, but I cannot wait to see them in the movie. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And we've definitely been fawning over porgs at the office, and we can't wait. I can't.
Oh my God. It's a porg.
It's a porg. Everybody. Woohoo. We got a porg mention. What kind of people, just for people out there who are parents and kids, what kind of people are in your office? What type of backgrounds do you have working on this? Is it, obviously you have industrial design. What other type of people?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have first of all, all of the people that work at Little Bits are ridiculously smart, talented, and passionate. There's people from a lot of different backgrounds. I'll just sort of list out a few. There are industrial designers, there are user interface designers, graphic designers, mechanical engineers who help design the plastics and the mechanical pieces. We have people with background in electrical engineering, software engineering. Of course, there's so many people who have on the like marketing and the creative marketing side of messaging and all of that. But what's funny is that a lot of people, I think one of the great things about working at a startup like Little Bits is that a lot of people ended up at Little Bits, but they don't necessarily have the formal training. Like a lot of our, some of our engineers actually have degrees in music, but not a formal training in engineering. But, you know, that doesn't stop them from creating really amazing bits. And we have some product designers who have backgrounds in architecture, but you know, I think once you go through that design process and you have the right mindset, you can pretty much do anything.
Wow. You know, what has been, besides like the R2-D2, what has been the favorite thing that you've worked on since you've been there?
Ooh, I mean, working on an invent your own droid kit is like, I'm not sure how you can get that much better than that. Because I really think I would never have imagined myself like being in the Lucasfilm office, like pitching this droid kit. It was like such an incredible experience. But what are some other things? I mean, this is kind of cliche, but one of my favorite kits that we have worked on that came out recently was the Little Bits code kit. And first of all, it has this killer bit that's an LED matrix display that you can code like emojis and really cool animations on, which is really addictive. But it again goes to our mission of getting kids excited and inventing and engaging in STEM and STEAM, but having fun with it. Like fun has always been such a strong part of our ethos because there's a lot of boring ways to engage with STEM and STEAM, but that's not the best way to get kids to learn about it and to be excited about it and make it relevant to them. And I think with the code kit, with the whole premise is you're actually able to code and invent your own games that you can play with in your classroom. And like, what better way to get excited about class than to invent games? And that's one that I'm really proud of.
Nice.
Oh, great. What one people might not realize is beyond the droid kit, you can get different other pieces and keep building beyond that, right?
Yeah, we do. That's a good point. So Little Bits, we have a library of over 60 modules, and they all work together, and they range from really simple modules like buttons and single LEDs to more complex ones. Like we do have a code bit, like I mentioned, that you can actually use and code sequences and animations. We have some musical modules where you can create and invent your own sounds. We have you name it, and we have tried to boil down every interaction into a bit. So you can definitely keep adding and remixing and leveling up your Droid Inventor kit.
So what would be your blue sky Droid Inventor kit if you could invent your own droid?
If I could invent my own droid, oh my gosh. We actually joke on the design team that we can all now like invent droids with our eyes closed. They're like, because we've done it so many times. Oh my gosh. I actually did make a custom Imperial droid for some photo shoot where I took off the legs and the head of the droid that comes in the box, and I repurposed it with this like long sort of skinny cylindrical Tupperware and spray painted it black and like put all these Imperial symbols on it. And it was sort of like a little guard droid that would march back and forth and spin its head and like make this dark side noise. It's not as blue sky, but that's the one that I made. I think like one of the things about droids that fans and people love so much is they're these companions and almost like pet-like, and they, follow you and help you and guide you and like make you feel comforted or give you the knowledge that you need. So I do think it would be really fun to make like an Alexa powered like companion droid that would like follow me around during the day and like keep me on track and like encourage me. I think that would be fun. But it could still be dark side. It could still be dark side.
I think it's cool that you brought up the Alexa kind of thing, because there's a lot of people that are very much into the smart home stuff. And I was noticing when I looked around on y'all's website that you have a smart home kit. And now I'm like, I can get an R2 droid with a smart home kit and make it do stuff.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
So, Krystal, if our listeners want to get hold of this Droid Builders kit, where can they find it, and like how much should they expect to pay?
So if you want to buy the Droid Inventor Kit, it's available for $99.95. You can buy it through Walmart, Amazon, the Apple Store, Disney stores, or littlebits.com.
Well, Krystal, are you on social media?
I am. I am one with Little Bits. So Little Bits social media is at Little Bits on Instagram and Twitter, and we would love, if anyone out there is making a custom droid, we would love to see it. Hashtag inventors wanted. And I am myself on social media too. Instagram is Persaud, and then Twitter I'm at Closed Loop. Sorry, at the Closed Loop.
So just to verify, it's at the Closed Loop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The backstory of that is inspired. I had like a sustainability blog about design and sustainability, and there's this ethos there of designing things that are closed loop, which means that there's no trash created, and there's always a creation or sort of incarnation of something.
Oh, that's very Force philosophy.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Force is neither created or destroyed. Yeah. It's very, very Force.
Awesome. Well, Krystal, thank you so much for your time. I think our listeners will enjoy this.
No problem.
Bye.
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 So we're going to go from little bits where you can learn to build your own droid or have your kids do it. You could do it with your kids, to talking to a female droid builder, like the real droids, like the droids that fans go all out to try to build. And we got to talk to her at Geek Girl Con. And if you are familiar with Looking for Leia documentary, you will see Christina Cato in their preview reel. So we got to sit down and talk to her just about the process of building droids and how helpful the fandom can be.
We are at Geek Girl Con, and we have our first droid builder with us. Her name is Christina Cato. We became aware of her from the Looking for Leia project and knew we just had to have her on the show. So Christina, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
So how long have you been doing droid building?
I have been droid building for about 2 years now. Yeah, so not very long.
What made you get into it, or what inspired you? Because one of the stories you said on the Looking for Leia panel yesterday is that you actually didn't own power tools before this.
That is correct. I actually met a droid builder for the first time after I joined the 501st. And I actually talked to him about it. I had never seen a real R2 moving around, and this was my first time. And I said, well, you must be some kind of engineer. And he's like, no, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was like, really? Like, you just learned this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I could just learn this? And he's like, yeah. And so I did.
And interview over.
And done. Well, Tricia, you are an engineer.
I am an engineer, and one of my good...
Why haven't you built a droid yet?
Well, here's the crazy thing. My Star Wars co-author, Cole Horton, got into droid building as well, and he is not an engineer. He's a history guy, and so you don't need to be an engineer to do this at all. But was there a droid in particular that spoke to you that you said you wanted to build for the first time?
No. No and yes. When I first started looking at droid building, I was looking at doing a regular astromech. That was before BB-8 existed. And so I wanted to do an Imperial droid because I'm in the 501st and I like all the bad guys. So originally I was going to do an R2Q5. And then I saw BB-8 and fell in love with the idea of building this crazy rolling droid.
Does that mean he's on the dark side, or
no? He's not. I was making an exception for him. Yeah, it kills me every time. Every time I'm like, I can't wear my cool hat with it. I can't wear my outfit. So I actually came up with a way to troop with him. So I can wear my officer uniform, and I'm going to create a mouse droid that can drag him around with a net. So I'll have someone actually operating the mouse droid for me, and he'll look like he's been captured.
Oh, wow. Now that's awesome. But we also have BB-9E coming.
I'm working on that one, too.
Okay, so I have a question. How long does it take you to build these droids?
Years. I've been working on BB-8 for 2 years. I've been working on C2B5 for close to a year now, and he'll be done by October. So
that's your mouse droid, right?
no, that's the astromech. Yeah, that one's not like R2, but he's a gunmetal gray. He was from the Rogue One movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so BB-8, can he actually physically move?
He will.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is there magnets involved in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's actually a magnet mount inside the body that's attached to the drive system, and then there's a magnet mount inside the dome, and so they attract each other, and that's what keeps the head from hopefully flying off. Yeah.
So how did you learn that?
That particular thing?
Yes.
I have been reading and reading and reading. There's some much smarter people than me that come up with the drive systems that are figuring out all the physics of putting these drives together and putting these droids together, and they are more than happy to share that information. And I just soak it all in. If you want to understand what's wrong with your droid, or how it's working and why you're using N52 magnets that could kill your hand, you want to understand, right? So everything. I asked questions. I just learned as much as I could.
Do you use forums or email and specific places people could go that wanted to start on their own?
Yes, yeah. So all of the major droids have forums now. So astromech.net is for the R2 builders. We have the BB-8 Builders Club I don't remember. Net. I could be wrong. And then we have mouse. We have a mouse builders forum as well. So all of those actually give you a place to start as far as the basics of how to do this and to read and understand the mechanics of what goes into it.
Do you feel, as a woman and as a woman of color, that you've been accepted into this community of builders?
Yeah. It's a great community. Yes, it's mostly guys. I would say we're probably maybe 1-2% of the builders that exist out there. But especially here in the Pacific Northwest, we're very blessed with an amazing, supportive group of builders here. The first time I met all the builders, they opened up all their droids and answered any question, no matter how silly the question was. They answered all the questions that we had. When I started working on my droid, those same builders opened their houses to me, showed me how to use the tools that I needed, helped me build the drive systems that I just couldn't figure out, talked hours and hours with me on how to put the electronics together, because I couldn't get this thing to work. So they've been amazing. Yeah.
Have you made any lasting friendships through the BB-8 Builders Club?
All of them. Yeah. Yes, all of them. It's a tight-knit group of people, and it's an international group. I have friends all over the world now because of the droid building, from both the people I've met at celebrations. I'm an admin for the BB-8 Builders Club, so I've met people through being an admin there. It's amazing.
Well, so let's back this out a little bit, because we know you do the droid building, but where did your Star Wars fandom really start? And how old were you, and that kind of first memory?
I was 4 when the movie came out, and I actually went with my parents to go see the movie. I remember standing in line. I remember how excited everyone was. I remember the goldenrod curtains opening, and I remember the crawl, and then I remember the credits, because I was 4. So I fell asleep, which isn't pretty normal when you go to take a kid to a late night movie. But I still loved it. It's amazing what you remember, even though you fall asleep as a kid, you're not really asleep, right? So the first time I saw Star Wars was actually on HBO, I think. They brought it on back when HBO was one, it had one movie that they played for 3 months. I was like, have I seen this before? And my parents yeah, yeah, you've seen it before. And of course, when Empire Strikes Back, I was in love. There, no doubt about it. I would safe to say that from the time that I first saw it, even though technically my memory of it is hazy from the sleeping in and out, but that I've always loved Star Wars. Always a huge fan. I used to have posters and all sorts of things on my wall. All my friends played with Star Wars figures, and we couldn't afford them, but I would go to my friends' houses who had them and play with them there, and I loved it. We always would pantomime scenes from the movies in the park, and we played all sorts of characters, and I didn't actually play Lando Calrissian. He wasn't my favorite.
Nice. So what does being a fangirl mean to you? It's kind of one of the questions we ask all of anybody we interview. So what does it mean to you?
it's letting the geek girl flag fly. You don't get to talk about fandoms much unless you're around other people who share that same fandom with you. So, and from a girl's perspective, it's a whole different ball of wax, especially with Star Wars. It really is, and I said this yesterday in the panel. It's so common for me to hear from guys, I've never met a girl who likes Star Wars like you. Like, that's not true. Most of the girls you've met are probably Star Wars fans like me, but most of them talk about it. So to be a part of the fandom allows us the opportunity, the space to be able to actually share our love of something that we enjoy for whatever reasons. And maybe you just love the costumes. I don't care. That's awesome. That just gives us a chance to talk about the costumes. So just being a woman and being around other women that are fans of the same thing, it gives us that space to talk, which we haven't had before.
Yeah, and speaking of, we are at Geek Girl Con, which is a great space. Has there been anything at this convention, like maybe your favorite moment or something that happened that you can tell, a little story?
Gosh, I can't think of anything in particular. I did actually enjoy when we were in the panel yesterday for Looking for Leia, when I mentioned how when I get asked the question, did your husband make that for you? And everyone went, oh, and I was like, right? I know. So that was actually kind of cool. I was like, oh, you're feeling it.
Now, you did say you like the bad guys, and you are a part of the 501st. So these two over here are more of the light side, and so I'm on my own. I do need to know, who's your favorite on that dark side world of Star Wars?
You're asking me the hard questions.
We go in depth on this show.
I like the costumes more on the dark side. My favorite was always Luke. So
what about like Return of the Jedi Luke, perhaps?
I didn't care.
Okay.
I didn't care.
It was just Luke for you, kind of like Han for me, perhaps. I don't know.
When I met Mark Hamill, I was just When was
that?
There was a lot of that. London. I went to Star Wars Celebration London, and so I stood in line. Oh gosh, I believe it was close to 12 hours.
Whoa!
I went early in the morning before they opened and was sleeping on the concrete, and then I was one of the first 100 people through the door, and then I sat in line for another 3 hours or something to get his autograph, and worth it. The most charming man. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, no, he seems super great. So is there any place that people can find you online, if they want to follow your droid building, see pictures of your droids, anything like that?
I do. I do post on the forums, so I am on both the Astromech forum and on the BB-8 Builders forum, and I have a build log in both places. So my C2B5 and my BB-8 are both there. I do have a Facebook page, but I don't talk about the droid building as much there. So those are the best places. Or we also have Facebook pages for BB-8 and R2, so and the mouse droid builders. So, and I post pretty often on all of those.
So on the forums, do you go under your name?
I'm Officer Cato.
Okay.
Yeah.
Officer Cato.
It's a very actual, Star Wars-y name. Just, here you go. Lucky you. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us and spending a little bit of time. We've never talked to a droid builder before. That was awesome.
Exciting.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Fangirl.
Shout it out to the social media from Teresa and Tricia and Sarah. Shout it out, fangirl shout outs.
All right, this month we have a special shout out section because we're going to shout it out to some fanboys who are actually here with me right now. Because as The Last Jedi gets closer and closer to its opening date, we have all the media come to one place. So, with me today is Richard Woloski.
Hey, everyone.
And you know what? He's usually with me because we live together. So that's how that works.
Isn't that sweet?
But also with us is James Burns from Jedi News.
Hello.
Hey, James. Oh, that's your line.
How you doing?
You know what's cool about having James on right now? You don't have to try to find a time to where one of you is up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's completely true.
Wait a minute, James. Are you on Long Beach time right now?
I am on Long Beach time because I'm in the room next to you.
Wait, what? James, are you out there?
I'm here, Richard!
Oh, when did you get here?
3 weeks ago!
Are you the one in the porg costume?
Shh, don't tell everyone our secret.
Well, gosh, guys, you come on and you take over the show. No.
Hey, if you're gonna wear a porg costume and sit in the living room for 3 weeks, we're gonna make note of it.
we wanted to invite you guys on.
I was wondering why the porgs would get up in the middle of the night and just raid the refrigerator. I thought I was seeing things.
Well, maybe that's where all your food went. Didn't you notice it was all gone?
I noticed in the morning it looked like gremlins had been in there, but they weren't gremlins. They were porglins.
Porglets.
James, did you eat after midnight?
I was going to say, if a Star Wars fan eats after midnight, they start talking about Trek.
Oh! Wow. Well, apparently, if Star Wars fans drink together, they have a whole bunch of interesting conversations, which is what happened last night.
Nice segue.
When Tricia and I and BJ, we were all having dinner with Richard and James because we all happened to be in town. And what came of that conversation, boys?
Podcasting. It's always about podcasting.
Or Star Wars.
We all got to the thought of what would happen if 3 guys got together and formed a brother podcast, 2 fangirls going rogue, called, James, 1, 2, 3, Fanboys going solo. And you know what? We didn't even rehearse that either.
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Solo movie specifically? Because we lucked out picking Fangirls Going Rogue and then it being Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about the Han Solo movie, Star Wars in general.
Can you talk about your fabulous R2-D2 suit? I want some fanboy fashion on this show.
You know what? I thought you would never ask.
And I have to tell you that I have a very similar suit by the same company that I'll be wearing on the red carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from Oppo Suits, OPPO Suits, and you know what? Got to give a big shout out to our good friend Elliot Hansen, DJ Elliot, who he was wearing this suit at Rancho Obi-Wan, the gala in November, and I loved it and apologized to him because I told him, I know this is your thing right now, but in 6 to 8 working days, it'll be my thing too.
And it was.
And it was. So big shout out to our good friend DJ Elliot. And I wore this to the Lost Con convention, and I think we packed the room at our panels because people followed me in the R2 suit, like the Pied Piper.
Do you beep 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 when you wear it too?
I'm sorry, how does
he does
that go?
a lot of things when he wears it.
Yeah, like what, James?
Eat, drink, talk.
Well, you got a question at the presser.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I wore the suit jacket to the Last Jedi press event, and you raise your hand in an R2 suit, and Anthony Bresnikan picks on you.
And then the lights go off and on.
Yeah, that was a bit freaky, Richard. I mean, Richard stood up and asked his question, and suddenly all the lights in the house went on and then went off again. It was like, I don't know,
they wanted to really see the suit.
Yeah, or either that or just some form of kinetic energy. It was the Force.
It's like the midichlorians ran over to the light switch, flicked them on.
You had to bring that word into it, didn't you? You had to go there.
Yes, I did. And on Fanboys Going Solo, plenty of prequel love.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Let's let them practice their prequel love, Teresa. What do you think?
Oh,
bring it on.
I think that's a great idea. So, guys, if you want to stick around for a character discussion, which we would love to have you do, y'all feel like doing that?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, roll it, Rob Dellinger.
Sidious, Anakin, Luke and Leia, Qui-Gon Jinn, C.O. Bibble, Kylo Ren, Salacious Crumb, Bib Fortuna, Boba Fett, Amidala, Wicket, R2-D2, BB-8, I can barely keep it straight. It's a character discussion. It's the fangirls on character. It's a character discussion.
All right, so in honor of the prequels, because we know that I love the prequels, our character discussion is not necessarily a character. You guys know how I like to do things. We are going to talk about Padme's outfits and some of our favorites because they are kind of characters in and of themselves. So, Richard, what is one of your favorite Padme outfits?
The Geonosian white skin tight suit. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
So, knowing from experience, Richard loves white, and I think it's because Leia wore white.
Oh, the Hoth Leia suit was fantastic.
Right.
And James was just showing me the new jackets that came out today.
Yes.
Those
They're
are
amazing.
They're great.
Yeah.
What company is that?
Columbia. Yeah. So those are on sale in a couple of days. I actually saw them about 2 weeks ago, and I was absolutely wowed by them. And I may have ordered the Han Solo jacket already. So they look stunning, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see those, you can go to jedinews.co.uk.
Plug. Thank you. My favorite, I'm going to have to say, is the whole get-up that she was wearing when they were eating together. From Attack of the Clones. There was something really, I don't know, but there was just something about that. I know it was one of George's favorites, and George spent a lot of time trying or designing that, and there was just so many different layers and elements to it.
Right. Isn't there like she had like a jacket or something with it, and then, or a shawl?
She had the neck piece, and she had the corset underneath, and it had like 2 or 3 different layers to it, and also the headband as well. And I actually saw all of these costumes because they were on display in New York 18 months or so ago when we were out there for Toy Fair in 2016. And I mean, these outfits, until you actually see them and you can see the fabrics that we used to create them, it gives them a whole new dimension. And the amount of time and effort and money that went into these was just just stunning, absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So I know you're talking about the black leather come hither bustier, and later on, after they've eaten and they're sitting in front of the fire, this was my runner-up outfit, so I have to explain myself. So I'll add on to your love of this outfit. And it's funny because, Padme's explaining to Anakin, oh, we can never be together. We can never. And she's wearing this, come hither outfit.
I do like this outfit a lot just because I feel like it really showed her vulnerability and strength all at the same time. It was a very interesting outfit because it's one that you're wearing, like a female is wearing something like this and they feel really confident in it. It makes them feel really good about themselves, but at the same time you can see her vulnerabilities in the conversation that they're having. It's the whole moment. It's just incredibly powerful to me. Sarah, since you already started with your runner-up, what's your favorite?
Oh, okay. So my favorite Padme outfit is her picnic sundress when they're out in the hills of Naboo, and it's the yellow one that looks almost Renaissance-y, and she's got the half Leia buns on. And I love this one because, of course, it does remind me of The Sound of Music, which is my favorite film. And she just looks so carefree and happy in this outfit, and it just seems to embody her spirit when she doesn't have to be worrying about the fate of the galaxy. And if she could be, not in politics, she'd probably be wearing this outfit all the time and just be happy and playful.
Carefree.
Yes. Yeah. And Tricia, I know you really like this one too, right?
The picnic dress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tricia Barr, can't believe she didn't get an Oscar nomination for these dresses. Because it just everything she did on these movies, there's so much detail and sewing. I went to the costume exhibit too, and in Seattle and in New York, and I think it's in Tampa right now.
Of course,
right
there now.
Yeah,
I don't live there.
And if you ever get a chance to go to the costume, because I know it's going to keep moving around the country. I mean, it's like George Lucas was being a patron of art. I mean, these costumes are art. They're works of art. And just the detail to put all those little rosettes on that dress. And really not just that, but she was really capturing, and he was too, with these dresses, kind of the duality of Padme. She just wants to be a girl. She wants to be a teenager, but she has to be queen too. So you go from these really regal outfits that that really strip her of her identity and just make her like the face of Naboo. And she has to act that way. And then she comes into these, dresses that just show that she wants to, be a young woman and explore who she is and have her own kind of coming of age story in this. So that's the kind of the beauty of the way the dresses change and the mood she's in and what she's trying to explore. At the same time, Anakin is trying to explore who he is and find out, got to be a Jedi and save the world. And I just want to be a young man too.
Nice.
So since you've been to the costume exhibit, I know the next one that you have is from Revenge of the Sith. Tell us a little bit about this one and why you like it so much.
The green velvet dress is that's the rumination dress. Is that scene? That's like the scene. If I were going to ask George Lucas one thing, like, if you could be in a room and ask somebody, okay, what was going on in Padme's head in that moment, when she's looking across, and the music's called Padme's Ruminations, she's looking across and Anakin's looking across her own, considering going and stopping Mace and making that decision, like what's going on in her head. And that's that dress. And I think it's one of the most beautiful dresses. It's green velvet and then she has the purple sash, and it just, I don't know, her hair's down, she looks like a mother. And if you look at like artwork for like the Pachumamas, even the way in like Mayan and Incan art, that form of the Mother Earth that's exactly the shape it takes in their artwork, and the way he's kind of recreated that. So even the shape of the dress is that visualization. So, and of course, they were, his concept artists were designing these dresses too, in a way, and then Tricia would take them and make them even more beautiful to kind of flesh out what was going on. But I would say, George, what is going on in her head in that moment in that dress?
Now, for me, I have two favorites. My first is going to be the first time we ever see Queen Amidala. And in that red outfit where she's got her hair, which there's no way she has that much hair. Or maybe she does. I don't know. Kind of going around her head, almost like a big giant like halo situation, and with the red lip, with the line and everything. And I love this outfit because it is so much her. Very, like, you're looking at my eyes. This is me. I am powerful. What I say goes. The way she sits in that outfit, everything. It's just it's so regal and so powerful yet feminine, and it's just so iconic. And I love that outfit. I would never try to cosplay that, but I love that outfit. I can only imagine how heavy the head thing it's got to be.
Oh, I know. And generally, the people who do cosplay that win the cosplay competition.
And Natalie Portman was 16 years old when she had to wear that on the set of Phantom Menace, and that thing weighed more than she did.
Probably.
If you got 3 Natalie Portmans, it wouldn't weigh as much as that. Just the headdress alone.
Yeah.
But when I first saw that dress in the first trailer, it had all those lights in the bottom.
Oh.
And I just knew that this was not going to be the same dirty, disgusting feel of a galaxy we have in the original trilogy, where everything is dirty and oil soaked, but now everything is so opulent and beautiful and so nicely structured. Even the way she was standing facing that big giant window in the Theed Palace, the way everything was shot, I knew that this was going to be a whole different feel, especially from the outfits there.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that outfit. But my favorite one is the lake dress that she wears when they get back to Naboo in Attack of the Clones. And it's what people will call the lake dress or the rainbow dress. It's, it starts yellow on the top and it kind of fades to a purple on the bottom. And it's sort of a halter because she has the metal neck piece. But I think one of my favorite parts about it are the arms and then the back, because the back is a low cut back. And for Padme and Natalie Portman specifically, and her body build and everything, I mean, it was just a gorgeous dress because it fits her amazingly, and the way she stands, like she can pull something off like that. And then the way her hair is done, just everything about it. I love that whole That whole dress.
I talked to a cosplayer who recreated that dress, and I asked her how long it took her, and she said 200 hours.
Whoa. Because you have to like hand dye it,
You
right?
have to
dip
hand
it.
dye it. Yep. And she said if you didn't get it right, you had to start over, and then all the pieces, because that's the jewelry is kind of like integrated into the headpiece. And there are cosplayers out there that you can, if you wanted to recreate, they have gone through great detail to recreate them themselves. But I was like, and she didn't win. I was like, that is love. That is love for a character to spend that much time. It is an amazing, beautiful dress to see it for real too. But I mean, the cosplayers that can recreate that by just seeing it, and they're like, oh, we're going to figure out how to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even imagine doing something like that, but it's just so pretty. And I think it's partly because I really love that scene too in the movie in Attack of the Clones. And there's just so many amazing Padme moments in episode 2, and a lot of them are accompanied by these amazing, amazing outfits. And I don't think we've really had a character since Padme that has this wide of an outfit.
No, not at all. I don't think there's anyone within the whole Star Wars universe that has this array of different costumes and outfits at all. The only thing that I would say, and the one outfit that she wears that I just don't understand at all, because she's trying to be completely incognito, and is the escaper dress. I mean, what's going on there with her hair? I mean, she looks like a TIE fighter. And, if somebody was trying to spot her in a crowd, it would be very, very easy.
It doesn't look very refugee.
No, it doesn't look like, I'm trying to blend in, and I've got 2 wings on my head, and I don't get that dress, and I don't get the puffy sleeves and everything else that goes with it, because it just doesn't feel like she's trying to hide, seriously. And that's the one dress that doesn't really work for me.
One of my other favorite costumes for, well, any of the, like the blue, I like the blue dress when they go to the Lars homestead. The light blue dress is definitely beautiful. But just that moment when she comes out, and when some of us didn't even know the first time we saw it that she was Padme coming out, that was the queen hiding as one of the handmaidens, and just that simple dress where she went with Qui-Gon into town, and that was so, she just looks so innocent. And then obviously Anakin meets her and asks her if she's an angel, and I just love that whole part of it. And I remember watching it and like, something's going on here, and then we get the reveal, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that just happened.
I think we really do love Padme, and I hope we get more. I believe I saw, and I know this is just rumor, but I think there's a book coming out about Padme, so I'm really excited for that. If it is true, I'm going to be super, super pumped. So.
And the other thing that I would ask, if Hasbro are listening, we still need all of these outfits in 3 3/4 line figures, please. We've had very, very few of them in 6-inch, but in 3 3/4, I personally would love to see, once every couple of years, you're just putting out a set of 4 or 5 of the outfits together.
They would sell out.
Yeah, I think they would sell. And I know female figures don't do very well in action figure lines, but just do them at Celebration. Just do them as limited exclusives. We will buy them, boys and girls alike. Seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know I would love to see all those. But I do feel like with the costumes we've seen so far with Holdo and Leia's in the Last Jedi, that we're getting a little bit more of that kind of regal vibe back, of not just, the simplistic, Rey had one costume until the very, very end, and that was it. But now, we're seeing more. She's still in this, in useful attire, but we're seeing Holdo and Leia with some really different looking outfits. So I'm excited about that.
I am too, and I'm glad you brought up Leia, and I know we need to wrap this up, but I saw a picture of General Leia next to a picture of Bail Organa, and it looks like they were doing some trying to make Leia look like her father a little bit. the outfits are very similar. Obviously different because, male versus female, but they look very similar, and I think it's cool.
Richard and James, where can people find you on social media if they want to say hi?
James? Oh, I was going to say, you can find me right here, right now.
In our living room in a porg costume.
Yeah. You can find me on all the Jedi News outlets. So Jedi News UK everywhere, apart from Facebook where it's Jedi News. And on me personally, I'm Planet Burns everywhere.
Richard?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at SithRich, where I do respond every now and then. But you can also find me at Skywalking Pod, or you can go over to our Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group and ask to join. And if you answer these 3 simple questions, you can come in and play and talk and ask us all questions about guys in porg costumes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to Fanboys Going Solo.
Coming soon to an iTunes near you.
Believe it.
Well, we've come to the end of another episode, but there will be more because Star Wars The Last Jedi is coming out on December 15th, and we are so excited. But until then, you can visit us over at fangirlsgoingrogue.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at FGGoingRogue. Tricia is at Fangirl Cantina. I am at Ice Cold Penguin, and Sarah is at Jedi Tink, and our social media manager, Sandra, is at GeekChic9.
You can email us, contact@fangirlsgoingrogue.com. Facebook, just type Fangirls Going Rogue, and Tumblr, let's see, lots of Poe, lots of Ray, lots of GIFs from the trailers, so fangirlsgoingrogue.tumblr.com.
And also, we have a Facebook group for Fangirls Going Rogue where we have lots of fun conversations and you can get to know other fangirls and fanboys. And you can go there by typing in Facebook Fangirls Going Rogue group, and you can request to join and also answer a couple questions. If you don't answer the questions, we don't let you in. And you can reach us by voicemail. You can go to 33121 Ewoks. Too bad you can't text it because no one ever calls anything anymore.
I know, right?
It's true. But I know somebody's going to have some reaction and they just want to share with Fangirls Going Rogue what they felt about the movie. So you could call us and leave us a voicemail, and then we'd know, and then we could play it on our next episode.
That's true.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And if you aren't going to call our voicemail, please go to iTunes and leave a positive 5-star review. We need your reviews so more people can find us.
So, until next time, Yub Cubbers. Dun 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 dun. Yub.
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 Yub. I have to say, I really like the flags, the porg flags on Twitter.
Yeah.
Porg flags. Wait, what?
The emoji, like when you type in hashtag porg.
Yes.
Also, Ryan Johnson's is super funny.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, so should we welcome the boys?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to go get them. So hang out for a bit.
Alrighty.
And mine are cuddly. Do you have cuddly cats?
No.
Oh.
No, mine are the one's cowering under the bed right now. Whenever I start podcasting, that's Anakin. He goes under the bed. And then usually about halfway through the podcasting, he'll go running out and run into the closet.
So Luna usually lays on the table, but she's been laying on the floor. And then Harry, I don't know where he went. But if you lay down on the couch or sit down on the couch with a Vera Bradley blanket on, he jumps on top of you, does a little circle like a dog, and then just like lays down. All right, Sarah, you get to introduce this business.
Okay, I do. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Good luck. That's exactly
With
what I was
rips?
thinking of. If you see my screensaver, it's Teresa and her... I'm sorry, what again? I keep going into
You're going to get into big trouble.
Wow.
I think the only person going solo tonight is you on the sofa.
Yeah, I'm used to it.